恭喜恭喜！新年快乐，红包拿来！
新年快乐，年年有余。
新年快乐，身体健康。
I was a little sad because I'm a rabbit, and now my year is all over. We had a great New Year festival this year. It was a lot of fun and a little boring all at the same time. There was a lot of special foods I never tried before that I got to try. Like I got nian gao.
Well, most shops shut down during the New Year. On Chinese New Year's Eve, we forgot that the shops would be closed and tried to get food. We ended up eating instant noodles. Anyways, we were kept busy this Chinese New Year.
Yeah, I think our busiest day was last Friday when Sylvia led an orchestra at a local missionary school. They played a few Chinese songs, and it's only about a 40% Christian group, and so that was really like an outreach to the community. Good to them get to know us a little bit better, so that way they understand who we are, and just trying to let them know who we are, so later when we share with them, that we can talk to them.
After that, we rushed over to a local church where we had been leading a VBS that week. We had been teaching them 3 of Jesus' parables to small groups, drama, and lesson time. That Friday was performance day where we got to show the parents what the kids had learned.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to teach the kids. Most of them could barely speak English, and 80% weren't Christian. We taught them the parable of the prodigal son, the parable of the rich fool, and the conversation that occurred when Jesus was dying beside 2 thieves. Sylvia and I taught them in small groups, and we also taught them the skits, taught them the parables by making them perform them in skits.
Then one of our actors couldn't show up, so at the last minute we got Jocelyn to help us. We gave her the script maybe an hour before the show.
One of the kids asked Mom how long it took for me to memorize my lines. Mom told them maybe 10 minutes, but they had been practicing their lines for days.
I ruled them.
Yeah, very good, Jocelyn. You ruled them, okay. But let's see whether your Chinese ruled them, huh?
The theme of the VBS was about change. The prodigal son changed and returned to his father, but the rich fool refused to change. The thief on one side of Jesus believed Jesus' message, while the other one refused to. So we taught them what Jesus says happens when we decide to change.
Usually in America, a VBS is held over the summer, but for students in Taiwan, Chinese New Year is like a 2 or 3 week break, depending on the school. So although they have a lot of family commitments, but they also usually have large blocks of time when when they're available to talk with, especially during the day. So it's a good time to reach out to them with Jesus' message.
Well, I taught the kids who were less proficient in English. One kid changed the English into 注音符号, which is kind of like a Chinese phonetic system. So he read the 注音符号 instead of the English. Every English sentence I said in that class, I had to say it back in Chinese. It was quite challenging. I was glad I had a translator to help me with the big words.
Yeah, sometimes the understanding part is the biggest problem of all. Last year I did another skit, and I had a group of kids working out for days. Their English is even better than this group. And, I had a friend from Taiwan come in after I'd been teaching them, and he asked them what the skit really meant. And, they understood the bits and the pieces that I had explained, but they had no idea what the overall meaning was. I was so shocked. I thought, we've been going over for days. How could that be? But I learned from that. And this time I directly connected the skits with the lessons in a small group so that they could better understand Jesus' message. I'd have a translator there, that kind of thing.
We are indeed very glad to have this opportunity to share Christ with the kids. Right, Joseph? Mm-hmm. One kid told me that he felt like he was a bad thief and was going to hell. And so I was very glad to be able to share with him that Jesus died on the cross for him. And because of that, he can go to heaven.
Yeah, in my small group, we also had a chance to discuss what would happen after they died. One kid said, "Oh, my parents don't believe anything." But after about 30 seconds, he talked about how they would worship their ancestors, and I told him that it's definitely very good for us to respect and remember our elders when they die. But if there's a God who loves us and who wants us to come up to heaven with Him, so all we need to do is accept God's gifts to us, which is of course Jesus.
Well, on the day of the performance, the pastor invited the parents and kids to come to church to experience God's love. So please pray for this church that will be doing the follow-up work, which we all know is very important.
Yeah. Also, I mean, not just to mention their kids, but also our own kids, you know. You guys are in trouble, huh? We can't really find a church that allows us to do the work that, you know, you guys, our friends, have sent us to do here in Taiwan, while also fulfilling God's command to raise up our own children in God's ways. You know, of course we do home Bible study, and the kids go to regular Christian Bible study at their school, but it's not quite the same as attending a church as a family, being taught, worshiping, and having communion with the larger family of God. So please pray for their spiritual growth.
Well, while we like doing things like VBS, we feel like the best way to teach people about Jesus' message is through making new churches. Well, by God's grace, we met a group of people that are looking into planting churches throughout Taipei. Right now, we are doing the most important part, which is gathering together in prayer. So please pray with us for Taiwan.
Yeah, and if you could also pray that the skills and the people that we need to make a church come together quickly. Of course, you know, we're happy to be able to do what we're currently doing. I mean, we've seen a lot of people's lives being changed out here, whether it's through our VBS, teaching kids at junior high, or music ministry. We know that, you know, these skills that we're learning can also be used to help us to make a new church. They'll make an impact on Taiwan, and learning how to relate to people, how to talk to people, what mistakes we were making and how to fix them, and things like that. You know, and the churches here are good, right? But the number of Christians is very small and remains stagnant. So therefore, we're trying to see how we can make a new church that doesn't have that kind of characteristic. You know, the kind of church that takes his message into the community effectively. Pray that we would find effective ways to present his message.
We hope to see you soon in Taiwan. Thank you for thinking about us.
Thank you for praying for us. We do miss you guys. Bye.